Annually, 8th of March is a day to celebrate women world over. This is commemoration of the International Women's Day under the theme "For all women and girls, rights, equality and empowerment is no difference," as according to the United Nations, a theme called for action that can unlock equal rights, power and opportunities for all, and a feminist future where no one is left behind. Central to this vision is the empowerment of the next generation youth, particularly young women and adolescent girls, as catalysts for lasting change. Domesticating the theme here in Nigeria as Accelerate Action for All. The Nigerian Youth Parliament is not left out of the campaign. This is what our discussion will center on in this episode of the program, as it promises to be educating and problem-solving. You're welcome to your favorite parliamentary program, Young Parliamentarians on NTA Parliament, Abuja. To discuss the 2025 International Women's Day, the leader of the female caucus of the current session of the Nigerian Youth Parliament will be joining us shortly after this break. I'm Joshua Oguchide, your host. Don't go away. Welcome back. Joining me virtually to discuss this year's International Women's Day is no other person than a member representing Ekiti North Central District in the recently inaugurated 6th Nigerian Youth Parliament, Honorable Dr. Ayomide Olanipekun. And like I mentioned before the break, she is the leader of the female caucus in the Parliament. She's a medical doctor and a philanthropist. Welcome on board, Dr. Olanipekun.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much.
A quick one before going to full discussion. How well are women, or shall I say, the female folks represented in the 5th Parliament? What is the figure like?
Yeah, thankfully to the Ministry of Youth. So when the selection process was going on, the message that was sent to each of the states stated that at least a female must be among the 3 representatives of each state, and it was really done. In fact, some states has 2 representatives, female representatives, like Ondo State has 2 representatives that are female. So we have more than 36 female in this current session.
That's a great one. That's huge.
Yeah.
Nigerian youths are interested to know why the 5th Nigerian Youth Parliament, under the speakership of Right Honorable Aliu Idris Zakari, is celebrating the International Women's Day 2025. What is so special about this year's celebration?
Okay, this year's celebration is special like every other celebration, like every other International Women's Day. And the theme for this is Accelerate Action. Is just letting us know that, okay, we need to do more. We've been doing a lot of things just from the team, Accelerate Action. And also the Right Honorable, the Speaker of the House, also interested in helping women to lead well. And from his appointees, apart from the Deputy Speaker, who is an elected position, appointees of him. Then we also have about like 3 or 4 other appointees under the media team, which he has appointed. So he's also interested in leadership, female leadership. The team of some of our videos we posted online on Saturday. He also gave a shout out to the female parliamentarians and other female honorables around the world. So he's also interested in that. Thank you.
Okay, from what you just said, now let's now take some excerpts on the celebration from you and your colleagues.
Good day to you all, and happy International Women's Day 2025 with the theme of Accelerate Action for All Women and Girls. This is crucial for achieving gender equality and empowering them to reach their full potential. More importantly, invest in their education and skills, promote economic empowerment, ensure equal access to healthcare facilities, combat gender-based violence, and support leadership and political representation of women. Once again, I wish you happy International Women's Day 2025.
Happy International Women's Day. I'm thankful to God that I'm a woman. It feels so good and I feel so powerful to be a woman. I want to say to every woman out there that you are a queen, you are powerful. There is no limit to what you can achieve in this life. There is no limit to the extent you can go in this life. The future is not just about the women. The present is the women. This is our time and we're taking it all.
And as a woman that has been breaking barriers and building bridges, I have come to realize that leadership has no gender. Women too can lead right. As we accelerate action in enhancing women participation and representation in governance and policies, I call for institutional commitment to ensuring that we have a gender-balanced world. Happy International Women's Day.
This year's International Women's Day theme, Accelerate Action, beckons us all to act swiftly in closing the gap of inequality. It is a call for not just words but action in building a better future for young women all over the world, for better recognition, equal opportunities and rights. Happy International Women's Day.
I join my fellow women in celebrating the International Women's Day, a hard-earned day dedicated to acknowledging women's rights and equality. It was not easy to get here, so a big congratulations to us all.
Women and girls around the world still face barriers that limit their potentials. Education, healthcare, and equal opportunities are essential for their growth and progress. We must take bold actions to break these barriers. Investing in girls' education and empowering women as leaders can transform communities. Let's commit to making gender equality a reality. Together, we can create a brighter future for all women and girls.
Solidarity will accelerate action for gender equality.
As a woman that we have, we possess the strength to drive transformation and foster growth. Let's unitize and amplify our efforts for gender equality and women empowerment. Together we can achieve greatness. Happy International Women's Day. Let's make equality a reality.
International Women's Day is a global celebration held annually on 8th March to recognize the achievements of women, to promote gender equality, and to advocate for women's rights. Is a day to celebrate the incredible women who make our world a better place. Let's come together and celebrate International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day!
It's time for change. Time for action. International Women's Day is a call to accelerate progress towards a world where women and girls have equal rights and opportunities. From boardrooms to classrooms, from labs to legislators, women are driving change. But despite progress, women still face significant barriers in times to accelerate action. We need everyone to join forces, government, businesses, and individuals. Together we can create a world where women and girls drive the change. To join the movement, accelerated action. International Women's Day 2025, accelerating a world where everyone drives equally.
Happy International Women's Day 2025. As a young parliamentarian myself, I know the call for gender equality is not just an aspiration, but a necessity. This year's theme, Accelerate Action, is a call for real and transformative changes towards policy making as regards women and girls, both in education and leadership roles. Progress happens when we work with urgency and purpose. Let's not just advocate for gender equality, let's accelerate it together. Happy International Women's Day 2025.
On this International Women's Day, I join millions around the world to celebrate strength, resilience, and leadership of women, especially those in our local communities who break barriers and create change. Together, let's inspire inclusion, empowering young girls, and build Nigeria where women's voices lead the future. Happy International Women's Day.
For me, I'm part of it and I'm part of the advocacy, promoting the advocacy for accelerated action on women's rights and equality. So thank you very much and happy International Women's Day. Bye.
I want to use this opportunity to wish all the amazing women in the world and also in my life Happy International Women's Day. Thank you for your inspiration and your courage. I wish you a day filled with love and success, just like you bring to the world. As we all know, empowered women empower the world. So, Happy International Women's Day.
Today is a wonderful day dedicated to celebrate remarkable achievements of women across the globe for their victories, quiet resilience, and unwavering strength that every woman demonstrates in every phase of life. Thank you.
Acceleration isn't just about doing it more, it's about doing it smarter. It's about creating systems where women's voices are not just heard, but they are valued and prioritized. We all must strive for a future where equality and empowerment is not just an exception, but the norm. When we support each other, there is no limit to what can be achieved. I am Honorable Dushma Deborah Akudu.
Protecting women and girls is not just a moral imperative, but a collective responsibility towards a better future. Women and girls face numerous challenges, from limited access to quality education, early marriage, gender-based violence to discriminatory practices and unequal opportunities. This is International Women's Day with the theme Accelerate Action for All Women and Girls, aimed at advancing women's rights and gender equality. Can be achieved when we work together as a team and ensure that all forms of violence against women is reduced. When we promote education and economic empowerment of our girls and women, when we help eliminate discriminatory practices and laws, when we encourage and motivate women-led organizations, women participation in politics, and women's leadership.
It's International Women's Day. Listen carefully. Do you hear it? The voices of women demanding for change, creating solutions, and building future. Equality needs action, not silence. Opportunity, not obstacle. It's time to unite, ignite, and accelerate action. Let's accelerate action for women and girls. Right? Equality. Happy International Women's Day 2025.
On this International Women's Day, I'd like us to celebrate the incredible strength and diversity of our women all over the world. Today is a reminder of the power of inclusion.
Put differently, year 2025 is a pivotal moment as it marks the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. This document is the most progressive and widely endorsed blueprint for women's and girls' rights worldwide that transformed the women's rights agenda in terms of legal protection, access to services, youth engagement, and change in social norms, stereotypes, and ideas stuck in the past, according to the United Nations. In collaboration with the Children's Parliament, the National Assembly, State Houses of Assembly, Youth Assembly of Nigeria, State Youth Parliament, and other arms of government, as well as both local and international partners. How will this impact your legislation as a parliament for girl child in particular and women generally?
Yes. So I'm from Ekiti State, and if you, Ekiti State is one of the leading states when it's come to advocacy for gender-based violence, and it's not far-fetched from this Beijing Declaration. So we have a law in Nigeria that protects women and other person that is facing violence in Nigeria. So, but Ekiti State is at the forefront, and we cannot take this away from the last government and from the wife of the former governor, that's Irelu Bisi-Fayemi. She really did well. She did a lot when it's come to this act or law in Ekiti State, and we can also not to appreciate the current government. So this law is being enacted in some of the states in Nigeria, and we are really doing well concerning that. Nigeria is really doing well. We are not where we are supposed to be, but at least we have started something, and I'm very sure that in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we'll be doing very good, but at least we started, and we can use Ekiti as an example. In EXOT, that is Ekiti State University Hospital, we have a center that is designated for gender-based violence for people that are facing violence.
Okay, nice one there. We'll now pause for some messages. The program Your Parliamentarians continues after. Do stay with us.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, the program is Young Parliamentarians showing on NTA Parliament, Abuja. You can also join the discussion via the platform scrolling on your screen. I've been speaking with member representing Ekiti North Central District in the Nigerian Youth Parliament, Honorable Ayo Minde Olanipekun, concerning the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. Again, as we've, as I've mentioned it before the break, it will interest Nigerian youths to know that the declaration was also the first global policy document on women that included a specific focus on girls' rights. Secondly, before 1995, only 12 countries had legal sanctions against domestic violence. Today, there are 1,583 legislative measures in place across 193 countries, including 354 targeting domestic violence specifically. Thirdly, as of today, there are 112 countries with national action plans on women, peace and security, a significant increase from only 19 in 2010. Does this apply to Nigeria?
Yes, it applies to Nigeria. And like I said, we have a law that is backing this program, this gender-based violence in Nigeria. And some states have started incorporating this into their law. And like I said earlier, Ekiti State is also at the forefront. I'll use Ekiti State as a reference point, as a reference state. I'm from Ekiti State, and I'm proud to be from Ekiti State. And I'm so happy that the government are interested, or the government is interested in this aspect, this gender-based violence. And we also need to understand that gender-based violence is not only for women. Men too are also involved in gender-based violence. For instance, the Nigeria Bar Association of Ekiti State chapter, they are currently, I think, 14 days campaign against violence against men. So Ekiti State, the legislative arm, the executive and the judiciary arm in Ekiti State are really doing well, and also other aspects, other states in Nigeria. So they're really doing well to make sure that that this Benjamin Act Declaration is being implemented in Nigeria. We are not where we used to be, but I'm very sure in the couple of years to come, it will be better than where we are. But Nigeria is involved, and they are fully involved in this declaration act that was aired in Belgium.
What about you taking up a little bit from Ekiti State? How do you see your assembly, the current sixth session?
In the current sixth session,
putting it into legislation.
Okay, yeah. The current sixth session, the Right Honorable Speaker, that's Right Honorable Aliyu Zakari, is also interested in this. I remember when myself and I had a conversation, and although we just got inaugurated, that was last month, just barely a month ago, but he's interested. When we met, there was a lot of conversation we had concerning the women and incorporating the women into the political appointments that we are going to have in the parliament. And he has done that. For example, he got me appointed as the leader of the female caucus, and every other female honorables, we have about like 4 of them in 4 out of 10 appointees that we have currently. And that means that the voices of the women can't be silent in this session. So it's definitely going to be hard. And it's also he's a good listener. That's one thing I really like about him. He's a good listener, and I'm very sure that before the end of our tenure, something tangible will definitely come out from this tenure, from us, from the female.
That is quite impressive. Okay, although the sixth session is fresh, as we all know, you are a philanthropist with a sickle cell foundation. Going by the population, how many of your constituents have benefited so far from this initiative?
Okay, I know you're talking about data here, but I also, because I'm also a person with data, I also love most of data. So from my own database, we have about 1,000 of them from Ekiti State. About 1,000 of them that is benefiting from Ekiti State's free healthcare for people living with sickle cell in back home here. So, but I will say that there are more than that, because apart from people living with sickle cell, I also do a lot of blood donation drives, both for sickle cell and not sickle cell. So for that, I really can capture the total number of people that really benefited. And we also know that people that get health care from Ekiti State, most of them might not be from Ekiti State. Some of them might be from other states that just came for visitation or they come to Ekiti State from or maybe health tourism and stuff like that. And just go back to their states. So I really can't have a specific number. But for people living with sickle cell in Ekiti State, I have about 1,000 of them on our database, and it's cut across. It's not only Ekiti indigenes, but Yoruba, Hausa, whatever. As long as you are living in Ekiti State, even students, as far as the northerners schooling in Ekiti State, they are benefiting from this health care, and we've been doing that since 2019. That's almost 6 years.
Wow.
And
2019, you say?
Yes, 2019.
Okay, let's talk about the financing. How do you cope? Are you a magician? Are you enjoying any support from either local or international partners, or both? I can't tell. I'm amazed.
Okay. So when it comes to running of the organization, apart from the financing, we also talk about the human resources. I'm thankful to God. I'm really blessed with the most fantastic team members you can ever imagine or you can ever have. So most of my volunteers, they are volunteers. I'm not paying them stipends. So they're just dedicating their time, just a way of giving back to the community. So, but for the finance, we will have programs for my friends, family, some partners in Ekiti State, even outside the Ekiti State, so as then online too, just crowdfunding and stuff like that. But a major part, of course, Ekiti State's health insurance scheme, because we're not talking about, I'm not the one giving out the health insurance, I'm not the one paying for the health insurance, it's the Ekiti State government.
No, we're focusing on this sickle cell thing.
What do you say?
I said we're focusing on this sickle cell thing.
Yes, it's the sickle cell, because the sickle cell warriors benefit from the health insurance, and the government are the one funding that aspect. I'm just like, my organization is just like an intermediary between the government and also the sickle cell warriors back home here. So, but for the finances, just family, friends, and just people. God, thank God.
Okay, now that you are a member of the Nigerian Youth Parliament, do you intend spreading your tentacles across Nigeria? I mean, you're not limited. You don't want to limit it to Ekiti State, using your clout in the Nigerian Youth Parliament to spread it all across.
Of course, yes. So when I got there, because we also have to go to some interview processes back in most of the states. So, and I remember one of the questions they asked me was, okay, how did I want to, like this kind of questions, how did I want to move this out of Ekiti? And I told them that, okay, Nigeria, we don't really have a policy concerning sickle cell. Why don't we, although in Nigeria's parliament we don't pass bills or remove motions, we can raise suggestions. So why not, okay, come together, okay, this is what is bothering people in the Nigerian youth. So at the Nigerian parliament, I'm looking into moving a motion concerning having a bill for sickle cell, like compulsory genotype testing. And I've started that in Ekiti State. My member representing Ekiti North at the House of Representatives, he has started that. But no, when we have a collective voices from the House of Representatives, from the Nigerian Youth Parliament, also from the Senators, it's to send an urgency to the federal government that we need to do something. And it's apart from that, why June 19 is World Sickle Cell Day. We can have a program across Nigeria. Okay, yeah, we are celebrating the sickle cell warriors. We are trying to raise awareness for sickle cell warriors. It's really a sense of belonging and letting them know that, okay, fine, the government is really interested in our lives. A lot of them have low self-esteem, stigmatization, but same people coming out to share their sharing from their pains, sharing that, okay, we know what they are going through, and saying that I'm not a sickle cell warrior myself. My genotype is AA. So it's a sense of belonging and a sense of refreshing to my sickle cell warriors back home. So if you see a lot of other people doing this in other parts of Nigeria, it's really made them to be very, 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 very okay.
Okay, your choice of America's former First Lady, Michelle Obama, the immediate past Vice President of our Federal Republic, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and the wife of the former Governor of Ekiti State and former Minister too, Erelubisi Fayemi, as your mentors. raises the question, how do you see yourself in the next 10 years in this advocacy for women and youths?
All right, thank you. So one thing that really cuts across those three people is that they're also family oriented. In as much that I'm a lady that want to do the best for my community and also want to do the best for myself. I'm also a family oriented person. I'm a family physician, so you know that I'm so interested in family. So Michelle Obama does not joke with her family. A religious family does not joke with her family. Professor Yemi Obisipani does not joke with their family, and they are doing great in the society. You can't say that they are not doing well in their own speed, in their own space. So in the next 10 years, I really want to see myself as a family person and also doing great in my community, like both in the political space, both in my medical career and also in my organization. So the next thing, just watch out. God is in business of doing good, and I'm so trusting God that even much more than I'm expecting or imagine is going to do very good thing for me.
Okay, that brings us to this next question. In your career so far as a politician and as a medical doctor, being a professional, has there been any moment that is very, that was very interesting, a moment that you can never forget, in your career, both for good and for bad?
Okay, at least the day I got inducted into medical profession was a day I can never forget. After spending 9 years and 3 months in school without repeating or stuff like that, all thanks to accreditation issue and stuff like that. So getting inducted into the medical profession was a day I can never forget in my life, December 29, 2021. Then also passing my exams as a resident doctor, that's for my career. Then also for the political aspect in parliamentarian, when I got a call, I got selected for this into Nigerian Parliament, the inauguration to coming to Abuja, then meeting a lot of people, lots of honorables from other states, interacting with them, seeing from their own point of view. Like it brings this joy, this unspeakable joy inside of me. Like, wow, okay, there's no state I want to go in this Nigeria that I don't have somebody there. Like I definitely have somebody there. Then also as an executive director, getting a partnership with the state health insurance. Believe me, when you see sickle cell warriors in crisis, you will really, really pity them. And that is what I saw before venturing into this organization and also helping them. So doing all of that, seeing sickle cell warriors going to the hospital without paying any money, like it's bring the sense of fulfillment to my life, and it's really what. So combine all of this together, I can really say I'm a fulfilled person, although I still have a lot of things to do. But currently, I really love the life I currently live.
Okay, okay. What of the other side, the bad ones?
Okay, the bad side, of course. I spent 9 years in medical school. It was supposed to be 6 years, but I spent 9 years. That's 3 years plus 3 extra years and 3 months. It's a lot of challenges happened at the time we were down. So it was really crazy for me. Then also, there was a time after I finished my service, because I served in Abuja before coming back to Ekiti, and I was trying to get a job. I couldn't get a job in a good job in Abuja, let me say like that. So it's really weighed me down. But thanks to my support system, it's really helped. Then as also a parliamentarian, we just started just barely a year, but I've not really have a challenge. But I've been in a leadership position for a very long time. So one of the challenging time I can really pick from my leadership position or in the political space is, of course, there are no common friends, there are no common enemies. We don't have a long-time enemy or long-time friends in the politics and stuff like that. So everybody's your friend, everybody's your enemy, time you say. Then for being an executive director, losing my sickle cell warriors, despite that free healthcare, we still have, at least last year I lost one. This year I've lost one already. So it's like something that, okay, I still have a lot to do when it's come to my sickle cell warriors. It's just so sad, like really so sad to lose them, despite the fact that we had free healthcare. And also another thing is that despite we had free healthcare, these people still did not want to come out to benefit from the healthcare because of the stigmatization, the low self-esteem, the mental health issues and stuff. So I still need to do a lot of advocacy and awareness to my sickle cell warriors. So So that is what I can say for my tweets.
And that means
Although
you need to engage. You need to engage media. You need to engage the media more and more. You know, in this campaign.
Yeah.
On a last note, on a very last note, what do you have any advice? Your message to Nigerian youth, especially women. You know, we've been talking about the International Women's Day. Your message, just a short one.
Okay, my message to the women out there is that just keep pushing. It's not easy. Just keep pushing. You don't expect leadership position or good life to come to you just like that. You really have to fight for it. We are out. This thing for the year is accelerate action. You cannot accelerate action without going out to search for what you want or getting what you want. Then also get mentors, get role models, get people that can really advise you, get good support system. You cannot achieve a lot of things if you don't have good support system. The reason why I'm able to combine 3 different portfolios is because I have good support system. My parents, my family are just a fantastic family. My team members also good. The female parliamentarians and not even the male parliamentarians has been of a great support since we commenced the session. So you cannot oversight support system. You really can't overemphasize. So you really have to have people they can call you, or you can when this imposter syndrome comes, you can go meet them. Okay, this is what I'm going through. Then also network. You really need to network. You can't be a local champion. You really need to network. And I'm very sure that the more we push out, the more we call for actions for betterment of women representation in politics and in government, and also in other aspects of life, we will definitely get where we want. We definitely have a gender balanced world that we are all clamoring for.
What an elaborate discussion, I must say, Dr. Olani Pekfun. Thanks for being our guest on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hope to see you again on the program to discuss new development in the Parliament. By that time, I believe legislative activities would have begun in earnest.
Yes.
So you have more story to tell us.
Of course, I will.
Okay. That concludes this week's episode of the program Young Parliamentarians, reaching you from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. For comments and inquiries, you can follow us on the platforms showing on your screen. See you next time on this same station for another interesting package of the program. Again, I'm Joshua Wujiri. Bye for now.